Hey guys, thanks for watching Weddings by CLED. Welcome to 2022, to a new wedding season, and you've probably met my new puppy, Stella Blue. I don't know if you can see her on there, but she is super cute. She's been in a few videos, and sometimes she likes to give us a little background sound with some squeaky toys and some puppy whining because she doesn't like it when I don't pay attention to her. She was actually my empty nester puppy because I was an empty nester for about 4 months until Pierce decided to come back home, and you can probably hear him playing guitar, but I'm happy to have everybody here. So you guys, I engage in a lot of dialogue with my couples, with my brides, my grooms, their families, and it's actually that dialogue that helps me in the wedding planning process. It's those talks, it's those conversations that help me get to know my brides and grooms. You know, some things I hear over and over and over. So the question that I am asking on tonight's episode is, what do you really mean when you say blank? Okay, so the number one thing that I hear people say all the time, and if I had a dime for every time someone said that they want their wedding to be simple. Okay, I see you. I know what you mean by that. You want it to be cheap, right? Is that what you mean? You think that if you tell me that you want everything to be simple, that's gonna mean it's gonna be cheap? Well, no, I don't always translate things like that. So if you want your wedding to be at a certain budget level, then tell me what that budget level is. That doesn't mean it has to be simple. You could spend, you know, a smaller amount of money. Extravagant doesn't have to mean expensive. You know what I mean? If you want extravagant, say you want extravagant and tell me what your budget is. But simple is like so all over the map. And that's why I love to have these conversations, because I do this with my couples and we really get to the bottom of it. But you know, I want all brides to do this, and that's why we have this YouTube channel. So I can talk to all of you and tell you, don't just say simple. Is that really what you want? Like, do you really want simple? Simple to me kind of sounds sort of like bare bones, and maybe in your mind you mean that you don't want it to be tacky, or you don't want it to be over the top, or you don't want it to be extravagant. What is simple to you? Because simple is different for every single person. And when I hear that, I always dive right in and ask lots of questions. Is that because of budget? Because if it is, just say it's because of budget.
Do it! Just do it!
Just say that, you know, here's my budget and this is what I want. What's the most important thing to you? What's the most important aspect of wedding planning? And I get this is the number 2 thing I hear after simple. I hear this quite a bit. Well, our most important thing is we want it to be fun and we want everybody to have a good time. Well, really? I mean, do you want it not to be fun and for them to have a bad time? Well, yeah, of course it's gonna be fun. And of course they're gonna have a good time. Well, actually, you can't control that. If you, bride, are having a good time, everybody's gonna have a good time, because your energy is the energy that sets the tone for everybody in that room, from every guest to every vendor to all of your family members to your fiance. So if you bring in a yucky attitude and you're not having a good time, it's gonna spread like wildfire. But when you come to me and you say that you want it to be fun and that you want everyone to have a good time, what does that mean to you? That means different things to different people. That may mean that you want to have this big band. Tell me what your vision is. Tell your planner what your vision is. And I mean, how does it look in your mind when you go to bed at night and you have visions of this wedding? What do you feel like when you step into that ceremony site or you step into that reception room? What does it smell like? I know that sounds a little crazy, but what kind of food are you serving? So, you know, just fun and a good time. Of course, we all want to have a good time, and we want to have fun every day, not just at a wedding. But give me a little bit more information. What do you really mean by fun and a good time? Now, another one that I hear, number 3, it's actually kind of a tie with fun and a good time, is we want to have an intimate wedding. So what does that mean? What do you mean by you want to have an intimate wedding? Do you want to have a small wedding? Do you want to have a smaller guest count? And what does that mean to you? To me, not that I'm the bride, but to me that means under 100 people, 50 to 75 people. To you it may mean 150. To you it may mean 25. Does intimate even mean the number of people? Does intimate just mean that it's going to be more of a laid back event, that it's going to be really chill. We want to know like what you mean by intimate, and we hear that word a lot. And sometimes when we hear a word a lot being used in the wedding industry or on Instagram or in magazines or whatever, we say it. Intimate also to me means private. Do you want it to be very private and small? And number 4, when you tell me, I just want everybody to get along, and again, go back, have a good time, you want everyone to get along. What do you mean when you say that? Are you afraid that people are not going to get along? I know sometimes with weddings, one of the largest sources of anxiety is having so many people commingling in one space together. A lot of people that you haven't seen in a really long time, people that you haven't met before, like members, extended members of the groom's family, the groom's friends. Are they gonna like me? Are we gonna have fun? Are they gonna have fun? Are they gonna get along with each other? So I think sometimes when you say that thing, what you really mean by I want everybody to have a good time is that, I have a little bit of anxiety about this. I have a little bit of nervousness about this thing. And you know what? You have every right to. When you bring in a large number of people that come from all different backgrounds and from different places, there can be some anxiety around that. But you know what? Almost all of the time, those people are all there to have a good time and to be there because they love you or they have some connection to you. So in this like magical way, it always tends to work out. Now this is a kind of silly one. I want everyone to meet new people. Now that is really sweet of you that you want that, but I gotta tell you something, you can flame me for this, you can comment me for this, but weddings aren't like a networking thing. I tend to see that people sort of like click out, they hover with those that they know, be it, because a lot of times they haven't seen their own family in a really long time, or they haven't seen their own friends from college or from this school or that school for a really long time, or from that workplace, because weddings are the times and the celebrations when we tend to bring in all of those people from our background. But did they want to commingle? Sure, sometimes there are stories of people, couples who have met at weddings and have gotten together and gotten married, but most of the time, it's not really like a networky kind of event, and people don't really want to meet new people at weddings. I'm sorry to break it to you. So when you're doing your seating chart, think about who gets along really well, who are from the same backgrounds, who are from the same schools, who are there to like see one another and want to sit together. I don't know that they're necessarily going to want to sit with brand new people. You can try it out. You can put people together that might have common interests. Saying, I want them to meet new people, that's not really the kind of event that it is. The sixth thing that I hear people say very often is, it's almost like it's not so much a statement, it's sometimes more of a warning, and they'll say, now my friends could get really wild. Okay. So what do I do with that? What are you trying to say there? What do you really mean by that? And you know what? It goes the other way. It can also say, like, I really want my friends to get wild. I really want them to have a good time, like they might not. But more often I hear, my friends could really get wild, or sometimes my family could get really wild. First of all, what's wild? What does wild mean to you? What do you want me to do about it? Are you afraid they're not going to get wild and you want them to get wild? I mean, these are all the things that I think of when you tell me that. And the funny thing about it is, a lot of times the clients that say to me, my friends could get really wild, when the actual wedding day comes, their friends are wallflowers. And here we are all ready for wild people, okay? And what we have are the people that are stuck to their chairs and they don't get up and they don't dance and they don't do all the fun things that you're supposed to do at a wedding. So you guys, with all 6 of these items, what they really boil down to is communication, being direct and being clear about what you want. Now, you might not even know what you want. So if you don't know what you want, don't say anything yet. Don't say those things. And think about what you want and visualize it and dream about it and look at all, the information that's out there and all of the inspiration that's out there to help you know what you want. Be really clear and direct about it in all the communication with your vendors, with your planner, with each other, with your fiance, with your family, because only then can your true vision and your wedding dream be executed exactly the way you want it, so that you can look back on it and go, this was awesome. Thank you so much for watching Weddings by CLED. Please subscribe. It helps me realize my dreams and brings you fresh new content every other week.